You're watching WILX TV, Onondaga, Lansing, Jackson. From your breaking news and weather authority, this is News 10 at 11.
Good evening. Tonight, the Lansing School Board is restarting its search for a permanent school superintendent after pausing for the pandemic. News 10's Rachel Sweet has the timeline.
Here we are again.
Michigan Association of School Boards met with the Lansing School Board Thursday night to discuss plans for their superintendent search. The school board paused the search back in March due to COVID-19 and wanted to wait for safe public meetings again. The board decided to move forward with their search and say even though it will be difficult, they will take their time.
This is one of our most important jobs that we'll ever undertake as a board. So if we at any time don't feel like the timing is right or the candidates are right or we just aren't comfortable hiring a person without having had the opportunity to be with them in person, then you know, it's at our discretion to slow down or press pause.
Sam Sinacropi, the current superintendent, took over the position last June after an independent investigation determined there were credible allegations of sexual harassment against the front runner for the job, Acting Superintendent Mark Coscarella. During the meeting, the board approved the timeline the Michigan Association of School Boards presented them with, starting with posting the open position sometime this week.
We would do first round interviews March 2nd and 3rd, second round interviews March 11th, and then you could possibly select your candidate on March 11th.
The school district is looking to have a new superintendent by July. In Lansing, Rachel Sweet, News 10.
And the Lansing School Board will hold its next meeting December 17th. Today, the nation's top infectious disease specialist, Dr. Anthony Fauci, says we could be back to normal by late summer or fall of next year if people get the vaccine and continue to practice social safety measures. He also says he and his family will take a vaccine once it's available.
They get vaccinated through April, May, and June and really do a full court press to get everybody vaccinated. You can get back to normal or at least approaching close to normal as you get into the late summer and early fall.
And Dr. Fauci says it'll be up to the community to realize getting vaccinated will, quote, be the gateway to getting out of this dilemma that we are in, unquote. Stocks on Wall Street losing steam today. This after a Wall Street Journal report said the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine rollout would be smaller than previously expected. Investors also digesting the latest jobless figures and looking at the prospects of another round of coronavirus relief from Washington lawmakers. The Dow ended up the day up 85 points. Today, the Michigan Senate approved a resolution urging the CDC to prioritize Michigan as one of the first states to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. The resolution highlights that Pfizer's largest manufacturing site is in Portage and employs nearly 2,200 Michigan workers. Because the people of Michigan will play a part in producing the vaccine for the entire country, senators here say it's both reasonable and responsible for the CDC to prioritize Michigan in the distribution of the first vaccine. Well, vaccine distribution plans are already underway here in Michigan. The federal government is asking states to finalize their distribution plans by tomorrow. The Pfizer vaccine could be in Michigan as early as December 12th. That's likely the first one to get approval from the FDA. Hospitals will be in charge of giving the shots to the first wave of people. And Governor Gretchen Whitmer says it'll be a massive undertaking.
No one's ever had to build out something like this before. It is a Herculean undertaking, and it will involve partnerships like we haven't seen before, but we're going to get it done. And we are going to make sure that in that first round, where it's healthcare providers and nursing home residents and workers, that we are able to move as swiftly as we can get our hands on those vaccines.
As of this week, 48 hospitals and 12 local health departments around Michigan have the ultra-cold freezers needed to store the vaccine. A conference call to finalize vaccine distribution details with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services is scheduled for December 8th. Vice President Mike Pence says the COVID vaccine is just days away from distribution. During a round-table discussion in Tennessee with state leaders there, the chairman of FedEx and members of the coronavirus task force, he said he's optimistic. Tennessee is one of the 4 states selected to test the distribution plan for Pfizer, with FedEx gearing up to play a major role.
We expect to be shipping COVID-19 vaccines within 24 hours of approval, and we expect vaccines to begin to be administered to Americans in that first group within 24 hours of that. It's an amazing thing.
Drug companies Pfizer and Moderna have submitted their COVID-19 vaccines to the FDA for emergency use authorization. Frontline workers and those in long-term care facilities will be among the first to receive the shots. Today, the Trump administration approved the continued use of the Michigan National Guard through March to help with the state's pandemic response, including vaccine distribution. Governor Gretchen Whitmer praised that decision, saying Guard members are crucial in the state's fight against COVID-19. And as we inch closer to vaccine distribution, Governor Whitmer warns the current coronavirus restrictions could stay in place beyond December 8th into the new year. Because current COVID-19 numbers are so bad, the governor hints it's possible she will extend the ban on casinos, indoor dining, and other businesses.
If you are looking at some of the most recent reporting, you know every health system in the state has seen growth in their hospitalizations from where we were just a month ago. But if we have to make some extensions of the current pause in some realms, and that is sadly possible because of the just sheer volume of COVID.
The governor says while no decision has been made on extending the 3-week partial shutdown, it would come down to ensuring that hospitals aren't overrun. Breaking tonight, 2 brothers accused in a plot to kidnap and kill Governor Gretchen Whitmer are released from jail. William and Michael Null posting bond today and were released from the Grand Traverse County Jail. Both will be placed on a GPS tether and will have a curfew. Their next scheduled court date is set for December 16th. Tonight, Jackson firefighters busy battling flames on the city's north side. It happened in a 2-story building near Lansing Avenue and Hill Street. Right now, we don't know if anyone was hurt or what caused the fire, the amount of damage done. We will let you know when we learn more. Well, another quiet night across mid-Michigan this evening. Andy, what are we in for as we head to our first Friday of December?
Kind of a sky tomorrow that'll threaten on us, but the sun will be out, and it's really not a whole lot. We're still on such a dry pattern. It's going to continue right through the weekend, but cooler weather is on the way. We'll take a look at the satellite and radar through the day, and the clouds moved in as expected. We're still mostly cloudy across the region. A couple of flurries trying to develop here and there, and that's how it's going to be tomorrow with most of it east of us, but we'll throw a risk of a flurry or two. That's about all we get through the daytime tomorrow. We're under those cloudy skies. It's been a slow fall of temperatures, and we're still above freezing. We may dip down to about 31 or 32 by morning. That is it. And then numbers will go right back up to 40. Well, one thing that has not changed but will tomorrow is the wind. Still pretty breezy out there, so we got wind chills that are running in the upper 20s to low 30s. The winds will die down when a front goes through tomorrow afternoon and they turn to the northwest. When you look across the Great Lakes at this hour, at this time of the year, there's a lot of warmth out there. There's not a whole lot of cold air. We will cool down to the 30s this weekend, but then we're going to show you another warm-up coming next week in just a few minutes. An island location made famous by James Bond comes crashing down, and it's caught on camera. That story after the break.